$847 in your bank account. Meanwhile, a hedge fund manager made that in seconds. Governments can create $100 billion with a few keystrokes. Glass towers, Wall Street deals, billion-dollar IPOs, none of this is taught in school. That knowledge gap, it's one of the most expensive divides in life. Today, we're closing it. I'm Nick, and by the end of this video, you'll understand money, banks, markets, and the hidden rules that affect every dollar you own. Money isn't real in the physical sense. A $100 bill costs about 12 cents to print. It only works because we all agree it does. It's the world's most successful social contract. Before money, humans bartered, but barter fails when needs don't align. If you have apples but need shoes, what do? That's why societies invented commodity money, salt in Rome, cowrie shells in China, cattle and tobacco in early America. Coins came next, portable wealth. Then paper money, invented in China over 1,000 years ago, made trading easier. Fiat money, like the dollar today, exists only because governments declare it legal tender. Here's a fact. Only 8% of global money is physical. The rest, digital. Banks record it on computers. And now governments are experimenting with fully digital currencies, money that could be tracked, controlled, and even programmed. Central banks, like the Federal Reserve, don't just print money, they control the economy. They have 3 levers. Interest rates. Higher rates make borrowing expensive, slowing spending. Lower rates make borrowing cheap, stimulating growth. Quantitative easing or tightening, buying or selling assets to inject or remove money from the system. And lender of last resort, providing emergency funds to banks in crises. Here's a mind bender. Banks themselves don't just store your money. Most deposits are lent out immediately. This is called fractional reserve banking. Even if reserve requirements are zero today, banks can still create money by issuing loans. Your mortgage, that money didn't exist 5 minutes ago. Imagine depositing $1,000. The bank lends $900 to someone else. They deposit it in another bank. That bank lends $810, and it keeps multiplying. This is how $1,000 can eventually create tens of thousands in the financial system. Investment banks handle IPOs, mergers, and raising capital for companies. Hedge funds manage billions for the ultra-wealthy using complex strategies, including borrowed money and derivatives. Example, in 2020, some hedge funds made billions from a single trade in volatility in tech stocks. Private equity buys companies using debt, sometimes leaving businesses struggling to hit profit targets. Venture capital funds startups knowing most will fail, but the few winners cover the losses and then some. Stocks equal ownership stakes. The S&P 500 has averaged 10% annual return since 1928. Missing the 10 best days in a decade can have your returns. Bonds equal loans to governments and corporations. When interest rates rise, bond prices fall. 2022's bond crash showed that even safe investments can lose value fast. Bond markets are massive, $142 trillion globally, and they influence your mortgage, your retirement, and your savings. Shadow banks, entities that act like banks without safeguards. Hedge funds, money market funds, private credit funds, they're all part of a $257 trillion system. In 2008, a tiny drop, 3 cents in a money market fund, nearly froze global credit. Fragility is everywhere. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are coming. China's digital yuan even expires if unused. This could let governments control every transaction, bypass commercial banks, and influence spending habits. Privacy versus convenience, that's the trade-off. The financial system is a giant interconnected loop. Banks, markets, shadow banking, and digital currencies. It moves your money, sets your mortgage rates, and decides your retirement future. It's not neutral. It favors those who understand it. Knowing how money works isn't just smart, it's survival. Time in the market beats timing the market. Index funds beat hedge funds for most people. Knowledge protects you in a system built for complexity. Subscribe if you want more hidden financial truths, and let's level the playing field.